Coming up next on Beyond the Metal,
a hidden treasure in the downtown hustle and bustle of Vancouver. Hi, I'm Lila Ibrahim.
and I'm Jesse Sinsak. And Lila, you have brought me to some sort of luscious garden. What is this?
Yes, we are at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden. It's a piece of tranquility here in the hustle and bustle of downtown Vancouver.
We've been busy, and I would love some tranquility. So
Yes, we are going to have Executive Director Kathy Gibler take us around the garden.
let's go check it out.
Let's go.
So we're in the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden here in Vancouver, and this is the first authentic classical Chinese garden ever built outside of China. So we felt pretty privileged and happy to get that.
Yeah,
But
how did that happen? Why in Vancouver?
I think partly because we are a very multicultural city anyway. We had a Chinatown since the city began, actually. So it's I think, the second oldest, perhaps, in North America. When it began to fall on hard times, which is what not so much Chinatown did, but downtown cores were doing that all over the world, they thought of bringing this kind of a garden here because it actually represents the best of Chinese culture.
All right, well, it looks beautiful. Why don't you kind of take us around
Yeah.
and point out some of the
So,
interesting things here?
What this would have been, it's a replica, although you won't find one exactly like it, of a scholar's home in old China, say 500 years ago. And the scholars were the people who actually worked for the emperor. They were China's elite. The scholars led a very circumscribed life. There were rules for everything. The only place that they could be free was in a garden like this.
This garden, you said, is designed to look 500 years old, but how old is it actually?
It's 23 years old.
Wow.
And what they did is it took, there were 53 master craftsmen that came from China. It was designed by people from China plus a crew from here. And it is authentic in the fact that, just like in 500 years ago, there are no nails, no glue, no screws or anything to hold it together. It's all joinery. They use the same wood as they would have 500 years ago. There really was an attempt to make it as perfect as possible. And every one of these has like these wonderful good luck symbols.
Yeah.
If you look at this side, it's round, and
Yeah.
on the other side, it's square.
Yeah.
Round is the symbol of heaven, and square is the symbol of earth. So we're actually standing in man's
Heaven
proper
and earth.
place between heaven and earth.
I never knew that.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So we're talking about these windows, and there's 43, I think, throughout the whole garden, and they're called leak windows. So they leak in air, they leak in light, they leak in views, they leak in breeze. When you first came in, all of the patterns on the floor, in the stonework, in the leak windows were all rounded. That's actually the yin, or the feminine part of the garden. As we come this way, we're actually entering the masculine part, yang. So look at all of these then become geometric. This is the beginning of the Chinese New Year's altar table that every family in the old China would have had. And you always have to have an 8-sided container. And then all of these are dried fruits. And China has always loved those. It's kind of their sweets and treats.
Okay.
So when guests come to our house for Chinese New Year's, we would definitely offer them some of these and keep right on refilling them. There'll be more and more red as we do it. So you have the red flowers. These actually, gold is a good, red and gold are the two Chinese colors. You always see that. And this is the shape of old money. They actually didn't have coins at the beginning. They had these, they called them ingots, but they were all different shapes made out of different materials. But this would represent money.
So what is the, this is a great tourist attraction. When's your
is.
busiest season?
The busiest season is summer, when most people have the freedom to travel. But this place is meant for all seasons. You see how we're coming around, and there's walkways all the way around.
Yeah.
So no matter if it's rainy, if it's snowy, each season it has a beauty about it.
February is Chinese New Year.
That's right.
Is there something special going on?
This whole place is filled with activities. So there's kids' activities, there's performances, there's fortune telling, and thousands of people come through.
Lila, the Chinese gardens here in Vancouver sure are beautiful, and if I was going to bring my family here, I would definitely take them to the Chinese gardens.
Totally a must-see and a nice relaxing place to visit here in the craziness of the Olympics.
So we're done with the Chinese gardens. What do you say we go get a little taste of Italy, go to Campagnolo, and make some pizzas?
Sounds delicious. Don't forget to check out all of our Olympics coverage at wintergames.ap.org.